I guess I'll begin even while we're setting up. So my name is LEEMO from Novasama Technologies, which is the company behind Nova Wallet and Nova SPEKTR. And I'm here today to talk about those things. So Nova Wallet and Nova SPEKTR, and thank you very much. Elevating UX for mass adoption and enterprises. So let's get into it. So I think probably most of you here actually use Nova Wallet or are aware of it. And if you're not, you're in the dark ages and need to go out more. Yeah, raise your hand if you don't use Nova Wallet, because we're going to have a talk. Tigi, down bad, Polkadot.js Maxi over there. So for those of you like Tigi who isn't familiar with Nova Wallet that much, we support over 80 different Polkadot networks, including both relay chains, Polkadot and Kusama, and tons of these parachains and solo chains that you've heard from this week. And we support hundreds of different tokens from all of these chains as well. On top of that, we make it, I think, the easiest in the ecosystem to cross-chain transfer assets between different chains. So you can transfer DOT from the Polkadot relay chain to Asset Hub, DOT between different parachains, or even tokens like IBTC from Interlay. You can transfer it to HydroDX and get started in the Omnipool, but that's not financial advice. For those of you that know me, you know that I'm into OpenGov, like James said. So Nova is the easiest way to observe, participate, and delegate in Polkadot OpenGov. If you're not using participate in governance right now, you're missing out. It's a lot of fun with a little bit of drama. The multi-staking dashboard I will talk about a bit later. We also support free hardware wallets. So you have Ledger and then Polkadot Vault, or previously known as Parity Signer. So I know some of you, I think you do, you've converted your old phone into an air-gapped wallet using Parity Signer, I believe. And then we support all the Polkadot dApps in the ecosystem. So we have the power of both MetaMask and Polkadot.js. So these chains like Astar that have both substrate and EVM sides, you can access both sides of it through Nova Wallet from the palm of your hand. It's really powerful. And finally, for this slide, we take no compromises when it comes to user security and privacy. So we don't track any analytics or user data, so we can't sell it. So it's your own data. And as everybody always says, if it's not your keys, it's not your tokens. So we're a self-custodial wallet. And we're fully open source. If your wallet that you're using is not open source, I would recommend that you migrate away from it. So I'll talk a little bit about one of our more recent features, the multi-staking dashboard, and it's literally never been easier to stake. So we provide a true multi-chain experience. Everything is on one screen. So all of your staked positions, you can, on Polkadot, Kusama, Moonbeam, Zeitgeist, James, you can see from one screen. So your current staked balance, your rewards, the APR, if it's active, inactive, or waiting for nominations, for example, it's all from one screen, which is a lot easier than pretty much anywhere else. Then what we're working on, we're making staking even better. So again, what we're going to do is allow you to just press start staking. There'll be some information about like the lockup period, like 28 days on Polkadot, for example. You input the amount of DOT and you press continue and you start staking, which is a lot better than Polkadot.js. But that's not enough. So a lot of new users are very, they're not sure what to do. Do I go in a nomination pool? Do I direct stake? What is the difference between the two? So at Nova, what we're going to do is if you're staking less than the minimum threshold, which is like 405 DOT or something like that at the moment, well, you can actually direct stake. So we're just going to guide those people to nomination pools because it makes sense, right? But if you're staking more than the minimum, well, it makes sense for us to guide you towards direct staking, but you still have the option to stake in a nomination pool. And we're not taking away any functionality. There's still all the advanced options. You can select your own validators or nomination pool. We're not taking anything away. We're just making it easier for the newcomers. So for Nova Wallet, what is next? Well, some things I'm looking forward to in Q3 include DOT swap, which is this DEX on Asset Hub, which is going to allow you to easily get gas, right? But we're not just going to do DOT swap. We're actually going to implement a cross-chain aggregator DEX in Nova. So things like HydroDX Omnipool, Stellar Swap, Mangata could all be plugged in. So it will be very, very cool. On top of that, things like Moonbeam, Ledger, and Polkadot Vault support, which a lot of people have been asking for. And then in Q4, things that I really care about, and it was funny because Camille Labs were mentioning proxies. So in Q4, we have multi-sig wallets and proxy integration as well. And as always, more networks, more staking options, and more cross-chain features. But there's a new kid on the block. There's SPEKTR, which is our brand new all-in-one Polkadot desktop wallet. So let's go over a little bit of some of the features of SPEKTR. So SPEKTR is a multi-chain wallet, as you'd expect in the Polkadot ecosystem. So it supports over 70 different Polkadot networks, both relay chains and tons of parachains and solo chains. It's also the very first implementation of what we call multi-shard staking or multi-shard features. So this allows you to have a set of accounts that within SPEKTR are combined together kind of and act as one unified entity. It also uses like derived accounts. If any validator people are here, you probably use those. And obviously it uses Polkadot Vault. It's, I think, the best hardware wallet for our ecosystem, but we will add more wallet options in the future, not just Polkadot Vault. And then the other three things, so multi-sig operations, light clients, and parachain data verification, I will go through those in more detail now. So for those of you that don't know what multi-sigs are, it allows you or your organization to manage your assets in a simple, secure, and collaborative manner. So multi-sigs in SPEKTR are fully cross-chain. So I think it's 55 chains that are supported right now for multi-sigs. And it's just if the standard multi-sig palette is in the runtime of a chain, then it's supported in SPEKTR. So on the asset screen, you'll see all those chains and all the assets on those chains. You don't need to individually click on different networks, which is super frustrating. It's nice and clean. And it's the same with the operations tab. You can see all of your multi-sig operations from all these different networks. As you can see on screen, there's Polkadot, Asta, Kusama, there's tons, right? And you can see the status, how many signatories have signed it so far. Was it executed? Was it rejected? You can even see a log of who signed it and everything like that. Then there's a thing that we've designed called the SPEKTR Matrix Protocol, which uses Matrix, which is a nice hot governance topic recently. Uses Matrix to share information between signatories. So for example, if you've ever used multi-sigs, like the standard ones on Polkadot.js, for example, you know that if you're the originator of a transaction, you have to share the call data. And if you forget, then it's a nightmare, and everybody gets annoyed at you for not sharing it. Whereas with SPEKTR, it gets automatically shared through SPEKTR Matrix Protocol, which is just a really nice UX improvement. Light clients are a bit of a nice topic. So SPEKTR allows you to run your own lightweight, unstoppable, and censorship-resistant blockchain node that directly connects you to the Polkadot ecosystem. You don't need to use an RPC that could potentially lie to you in some way. Light clients are, I think, the future, and we support them fully in SPEKTR. However, there's some problems with light clients. If you want to run, for example, 10 light clients because you want to access data from 10 different networks, it's kind of resource intensive at that point. So we had to come up with a solution for now until that gets fixed. So we designed this parachain data verification thing, which basically utilizes the light client connection with the relay chain, Polkadot or Kusama, and uses that kind of trusted connection, I suppose, to verify data from parachain RPC providers is correct. So they're showing you the correct balances, the correct transaction fees. This is super important because some RPC providers in other ecosystems either censor you or can't tell you incorrect information, whereas with the power of light clients in the Polkadot ecosystem and parachain data verification, we can stop that and be better than everybody. So SPEKTR is going to have a lot of really nice updates in the next 6 months. So things like a multi-sig chat, because again, we utilize Matrix. So in the app itself, there's going to be a nice multi-sig chat. So you can ping your other signatories to sign transactions. Things like EVM substrate support for Moonbeam and Moonriver is going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. And proxy wallets, again, shout out to Camille Labs for trying to get proxy wallets supported everywhere. And then in Q4, cross-chain transfers, which if you use Nova, like I said, there's like 250, 300 different transfer options. So they're all going to be in SPEKTR as well. And dot-swap integration, this, and probably the aggregator as well, will be in SPEKTR. And more parachain staking support is something that I'm looking forward to as well. And if you haven't tried NovaSpectre yet, it is fully open source and available for download. Works for Windows, macOS, and Linux. And if you need any advice or any questions, feel free to reach out to me anywhere and we can talk about it. And to wrap up, let's build together, right? I hope me and the Novasama Technologies team are quite easy to get hold of. So if there's ever anything that you want to work with us on, be that implementing your DApp into Nova, getting your network into Nova, maybe your Hydra DX and there's a new token on your chain and we don't support it yet, just write to us and we'll probably do it in like a day or something normally. We're pretty quick. And please scan the QR code and join the Nova community. Get in the chat, submit your feature ideas on our canny. We're always, at every treasury request, we allocate a certain amount to implement community requested features because we think we need to be the app that the community wants to use. And the community ultimately is the most important thing in the ecosystem. And again, like I said, propose your network, token, or DApp. We'll integrate it. And use everything for yourself. Use Nova SPEKTR, use Nova Wallet, use our iOS and Android SDKs. And thank you very much, Paris. And let's get some beer later.
I agree, brother. Great job. Thank you so much, LEEMO. You have 1 minute. You have 1 minute. Does anyone want to shoot a question to the man, the myth, the legend?
We do pretty much everything, yeah.
Prediction markets.
Yeah, we don't do
They
prediction
don't do
markets.
prediction markets.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's also true. Our SDK is very simple. Thanks so much, LEEMO. Let's give him another hand. What a legend. All right.